Really feel wretched, don't you? You're hot. Throat hurts. Wish I could help you. Hey, maybe we could think of something real cold, like ice cream or snow. Remember all that white stuff last winter? Well, yeah, I got a better idea. How about a big, clear lake in the woods of Canada, huh? Hey, you're up. How you feeling? Yeah, I know, it hurts. Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you about that lake. You take a running jump, and your body hits the water, and it tingles all over. It's terrific. Sorry you're hurting. I'd change places with you if I could. I wonder how much he understands.
Oh, I think he gets your message. Hi there, little one. Hey, I love you. Look, I need to talk to you for a second, okay?
Yeah. Nurse will be right outside.
Frank wants to bring in a specialist. Now, it's not arbitrary, of course. He asked me and I agreed, but I did want to know how you feel about it.
Actually, it's not a bad idea. Who is it?
Dr. Homer Gillette.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a very big man. But did Frank get to him through Ray?
I don't know. I don't really care.
I think it's a good thing. At least it can't do any harm.
Right.
Wonder how Faith will feel about it, huh?
Feel about what? Frank called me at Ryan's, and he feels that a consultation with a specialist is in order. So he's sending in a Dr. Homer Gillette tonight to see him. But I want you to know it's not because I lack confidence in you.
No, it's fine. In fact, I'm relieved. I was going to suggest we, get a second opinion. Edmund is very sick, Jill. And I have to admit, I don't understand why.
Can we talk about me?
What else?
Okay, well, let's.
And you are looking very elegant tonight.
Thank you. And you're proud of me, right?
Yeah, I already said so. Although, when I think of the chance you took going to Lloyd's and demanding your money back, I still quake a bit.
No, I told you it wasn't very much of a risk. Now, I thought about this very carefully. I knew he was scared.
A calculated risk, then.
What?
Well, you looked at the odds and saw what you stood to gain. You used your intelligence to assess the situation, and then you plunged right in.
That's new for me, isn't it?
Applied in a positive way, yes.
Okay, well, now we've dealt with that. I'd like to talk about, money. See, I want to do more than just spend it.
Well, that's very wise. What did you have in mind?
Well, I was wondering, Roger, what's a capitalist?
I'd say that a capitalist is basically a person who puts money to work for himself.
Or herself. Now, with $4,800, could I be a capitalist?
Absolutely.
Good. Okay, that's what I was hoping for. How?
Well, there are any number of ways to make money with money. I would say a very safe and straightforward way would be for you to put it in a savings account and then collect the interest on it.
Go on.
Of course, some people find sure things a bore. Now, if you're a little more adventuresome, there's always the market.
Stock market? I love it. Tell me about it.
Well, when you own a share of stock, you actually own a portion of the company that it represents. If it's a good stock, it'll pay a decent dividend, and hopefully will rise in value while you hold it.
Well, how do I know what stock to buy?
Well, one way to approach the market for a limited investor is through the mutual funds. Now, you pool your money with lots of other people, and the fund holds a portfolio of various stocks and bonds.
I think I want to hold on to my own.
Well, in that case, you'd probably want to invest in some blue chip stocks. And that's a good start for a conservative, small investor.
Please, don't call me a small investor. We're talking about all the money I have in the world. Okay, you just tell me the choices, then I can decide, all right?
Score one for Al Pagano. All right, if you're really interested in a quick profit, you can always speculate in the market.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, you buy stocks that are less of a sure thing, but promise a large profit in a new company or one that you feel has reason to expand. And if the stock does rise, voila, a large profit.
Wow, just like that?
You can also lose.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay, what else?
Well, if you had a little more patience, I would recommend the bond market.
You're talking about stocks and bonds, right?
Mm-hmm. There's also real estate.
Okay, now we're talking now real estate. See, I'd like someone to pay me the rent for a change. Maybe I don't have enough money to do that. Okay, all right. Now, with a small amount of money, I want to make a big profit. What do I do?
Well, there's the commodities market, but that is not for the tender-hearted. It's very possible to double or even triple your money, but it's also possible to parlay a very small investment into a gigantic loss. I wouldn't recommend the commodities. It's an enormous risk.
Okay, well, I shouldn't lose all my money. All right, so what I should do is I should put some money in the bank getting interest. And then, let's see. Well, I can spend some of my money, but also, well, I could get those stocks. What's the name of the stock with a nice-sounding name?
Blue chip.
Blue chips. Okay, great. And then I could, speculate. What do you think?
I think it's an excellent approach. So what you would be doing is diversifying your holdings.
Diversify. Now, I thought of that myself, didn't I?
You certainly did. Delia, you amaze me sometimes.
Roger, please don't treat me like I'm stupid, okay? Because I've never had to think of this before.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Okay. Well, if I were a successful capitalist, would that count?
How do you mean?
Well, I have my $4,800, and I have enough money for putting in the bank and getting interest on it. Also for food and for spending money and walking around money. Would you still make me take a job?
Miss Coleridge?
Yes.
I'm Homer Gillette. Councilman Ryan asked me to have a look at your boy.
How do you do? Thanks for coming so quickly.
Dr. Gillette. Dr. Bullock. This is Dr. Coleridge.
Another Coleridge?
Yes, I'm Jill's sister.
Dr. Bolak, Seneca Bolak, of course.
That's right.
Will you fill me in?
Well, it's rather confusing, actually. There's several contradictory... I'm terribly sorry. Actually, Dr. Coleridge is Edmund's physician. I'm just a friend of the family.
Ah, I see.
Well, Edmund was admitted under presumptive diagnosis of strep infection tonsillitis. The test have ruled that out. When he came in, he had a very high fever, considerable inflammation, and a mild erythematose rash. He had been vomiting, but we got that under control. I put him on 40,000 units per kilogram daily in divided doses, and also an IV of 5% glucose solution, just to keep him hydrated. We ran all the usual blood work, urinalysis, nasopharynx culture, blood culture. We don't have any of those cultures back yet, but we do have the white count back, and it's within normal limits. And his temperature is continuing to rise, and from the chest films indicates hyperinflation of the lungs, although there are consolidated areas which look like pneumonia.
I can see why you're confused. His temperature ought to be down by now, but it isn't. The white count ought to be elevated, but it isn't, and the lungs Should be deflated if it's pneumonia, but they aren't. Well, let's have a look at them.
Julian, wait here, will you, please?
Yeah. Oh, Mayor. Hi.
Hi. I went to pick up Ryan from Ma, and she told me about Edmund. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming.
I wish I could do something.
Yeah, so do I. They go in there and they pull that blind and lock the door, and I really feel pretty helpless.
Come, sit down over here.
Yeah.
Ma sent you a cup of tea and some seed cake. She said you wouldn't eat before.
She is so sweet.
It's a mother's impulse. When in doubt, feed.
Yeah, thanks.
I wanted to say something to you. I'm sorry about the other day. I was wrong to be so judgmental. I'm sure if you drew the line on Frank, it was because things were really bad. I was wrong, and I apologize.
Hey, forget about it, okay?
No, I was out of line. It's your life and your relationship, even if he is my brother and the two of you belong together. There I go again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it helps any, I've read Frank the Riot Act a few times. I mean well.
Yeah, I know you do.
Just get so upset. I love you both. Frank should be here.
Well, actually, I told him not to come. At least not yet. But he did offer, and I'm sure Ray had fits.
It's all right. It's good for her.
Hey, Mayor, he's really being wonderful. He's concerned and he's responsive. And, oh, the specialist you just saw, he sent for him.
Well, maybe Big Brother has got his head on straight after all.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I've got so much on my mind right now, I can't think. But I'll tell you one thing, I think he starts to care more, and that makes things better.
Enough to fix things?
Mayor, don't push, okay? The problems are the same, the facts are the same. But I will tell you that I think the feelings between us are a little better.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry it took sick Edmund to get that start.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll be okay.
Oh, I hope so.
There isn't any doubt, is there?
I don't know.
Hey, don't even think that way.
Okay.
He'll be all right. He's gotta be.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, but call me any hour in the middle of the night if you want to. I'm here for you.
Okay.
Okay?
I love you.
I love you.
Thanks for coming.
Take care.
Well, would you still make me get a job?
Well, I suppose that if you could make your money work for you, I see no reason why you would have to seek honest employment. Although it's asking a lot of $4,800.
Okay, well, I'll start tomorrow.
I'll put you in touch with my broker. He'll be enchanted.
Please, Roger, don't make fun of me, okay? Now just cut it out. I mean business, all right?
Ah, I can see you do. And I have the feeling that you have the makings of a rabid capitalist.
What do you mean by that?
Enthusiastic. Really, it's really remarkable watching you in action. Very few people understand your capabilities.
Like Jill and Faith. Do they own stocks?
They both inherited substantial holdings.
That's not the same, is it, as doing it yourself?
No, indeed.
Boy, would I like to show them.
Madame, what an honor. Your table is ready.
Thank you, Bella. Champagne, please.
From the finest vineyard in all of France.
Of course, I know. I own it.
May I say that you're looking absolutely lovely this evening?
How nice, but I had an absolutely devastating day. I wanted to know whether I should risk raising my plutonium holdings. So I did, and I increased my profit by $2 million before 5 o'clock. Goodness. Oh, my, what a sad creature.
Buy a flower from me, Mum?
Of course, my sweet, I'll buy a flower. In fact, I'll buy all of your flowers, so you can go back to your nasty little hovel. Keep the change.
Oh, Mum, I couldn't.
Nonsense! One must be rich to know what to do with those less fortunate.
Oh, 1,000 thanks, Mum. Thank you, Mum. Oh, thank you very much, Mum.
Oh, poor thing. She must have been a lovely creature.
Ah, yes. They say she put her life savings in soybeans.
She should have diversified, of course.
Of course. Not everyone has your uncanny understanding of the financial world.
Pity.
Delia.
Yes.
Delia, I've been longing to ask you. Would you marry me?
Whatever for, darling. I am a totally independent person.
Then can I hope, could we be lovers?
I don't know if you're ready for it, and I would never do it out of mere gratitude.
Madame, I wonder if I might impose. You are such a warm-hearted person. The little scullery girl, her life is so drab and hopeless. If she could have a glimpse of you, it would warm her heart.
Well, of course, how can I refuse?
Cinder Faith, come and see Delia Reed Ryan, the richest and most successful woman in the world.
Oh, Madam.
How dreadful that I should have so much and this poor, wretched person have so little.
Good things come to those that deserve them.
Do they? Poor child. Oh, my gracious. What could have caused such a nasty condition?
But, Madam, I'm the only kind I'm fit for.
You keep whatever you find, my child.
Oh!
She's as generous as she is rich and powerful.
Oh, it's nothing. I have several strands at home, and I also have huge oyster holdings.
Oh, thank you, Madam. Thank you, thank you.
This cafe is getting very depressing. Shall we leave?
Madame, you will break our hearts.
Give the boy this.
Magnificent! Oh, thank you, Madame. Thank you, Madame.
You seem to be enjoying yourself.
I'm gonna like being rich. And I'm gonna get there all by myself.
To capitalism.
How is he?
I've completed the examination, and one or two new factors have emerged.
Well, please tell me everything that you know.
Certainly. I've never believed in keeping parents in the dark. I'm afraid that Edmund is very ill, and we're still not sure why. Your sister's first conclusions were precisely what mine would have been. That we hadn't reacted as we might have expected. At this point, his respiration is highly accelerated. There's expiratory wheezing and intercostal retraction when he breathes, and he's also slightly cyanotic. That's the blue tinge to the skin, which indicates inadequate oxygenation of the circulating blood.
Well, what's causing that?
Well, that's what we don't know yet. We've eliminated asthma by giving him an injection of epinephrine to which there was no reaction.
Doesn't all of this point to something specific? I mean, something that can be treated?
Well, there are several possibilities. I've asked for additional blood work and electrolyte balances, and the results should be in first thing in the morning, and we should have a clearer picture by then. I'll be back then.
Another night?
Well, he'll be perfectly taken care of all during that time. I'll be back very early tomorrow, and Dr. Coleridge has my number if I should be needed before that time.
Well, can I go in and see him?
Yes, of course.
All right.
Please be brief.
All right. Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor, thank you very much.
Not at all. I only hope that tomorrow's results will give us a handle on it. Dr. Coleridge, you've done excellent work.
Well, thank you. You picked up some fine points I missed.
Well, not really. I'm afraid that...
He stopped breathing. I picked him up to hold him, and then I realized that something was wrong. And he stopped breathing. Please.
I'll take it easy. He started again spontaneously.
For God's sakes, will somebody please tell me what is wrong with my son?
This Thursday, A Good Relationship Gone Bad. He hates public displays, but she craves affection. Sounds like a job for the guy who wrote the book on relationships. An all-new Greg Barron's Wake Up Call, part of Sugar Free Valentine's, Thursday at 10 on SoapNet.